Hey guys, it's the uniformed historian. Okay, thank you. The uniformed historian does not believe in leaving any stone unturned in his research. In related news, I have been banished from Gettysburg National Cemetery. Surprise! Did you guys really think I was going to come all the way to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania and not make you guys a video? Yeah, right, you're out of your mind. Today I'm joining you from historic Gettysburg battlefield in Pennsylvania, and I'm standing along the railroad cut, which was part of the first day's fighting on July 1st, 1863. Today I'm here to talk a little bit about the Iron Brigade, specifically the 6th Wisconsin Infantry. On the morning of July 1st, 1863, Union Cavalry General John Buford was already near this place, holding out against Confederates under Henry Heath. Just as John Buford was about to be forced back, General John Reynolds arrives at this place with his Iron Brigade, part of the 1st Corps, which is signified by this red circle corps badge on my hat. When they arrive here, they deploy over to the left of where I'm standing, and that is where General Reynolds is killed while he's urging on the men of the 2nd Wisconsin of the famed Iron Brigade. Hurry up, boys, get in there. We have to push these people out of those woods. And then a Confederate sharpshooter hits him in the back of the head, and he is probably dead before he hits the ground out of the saddle. However, while this fighting is going on over to my left, back sort of behind where you're not really able to see, the 6th Wisconsin is actually held in reserve by the seminary, which you can see behind me. Eventually, Rufus Dawes, commanding, brings the regiment this direction and fights against the 2nd Mississippi Infantry, who is eventually forced back into this railroad cut that you see behind me, as that was their only cover. The 6th Wisconsin just levels their rifles and demolishes these men from the 2nd Mississippi with deadly volleys, according to the after-action report of Rufus Dawes. Another of the better-known casualties from the fighting that took place over here with the 6th Wisconsin at the railroad cut in Gettysburg was James Kelly. He was shot in the left side of the chest during the fighting that took place, and he still managed to find it within him to pull himself up to Lieutenant Colonel Rufus Dawes and ask him to please tell his family that he died as a soldier. Rufus Dawes wrote about this later on. He died several weeks later on July 21st, 1863, and he's buried here in the National Cemetery. It's one of the very few recorded instances of doctors attempting a procedure known as tapping, because his wound was so serious that it developed basically a pus around his wound, and they attempted to literally knock this out. During the fighting between the 2nd Mississippi Infantry, which was comprised mostly of men from northern Mississippi, for those who are interested, and the 6th Wisconsin, there's a very famous painting which depicts this fight which occurred here for the battle flag of the 2nd Mississippi Infantry. The entire color guard of the 2nd Mississippi was either killed or wounded until it became a battle between Corporal Francis Asbury Waller of the 6th Wisconsin Infantry and Corporal Murphy of the 2nd Mississippi. It devolved into hand-to-hand fighting to get this flag at all costs. So many bullets were flying through here, the battle flag was torn into shreds. It's in pieces by this point. The flagstaff has been shattered, and just as Corporal Murphy is going to rip this flag from the flagpole, that is when Waller of the 6th Wisconsin Infantry takes the flag and captures Corporal Murphy with it. For this action, Waller is awarded the Medal of Honor, which he received a citation for in late 1864, just over a year from his actions at this place. Waller did survive the war, and he is buried back in Wisconsin. After this fight has taken place for the collars, the Mississippians fall into this railroad cut that you see behind me, as it's the only protection they have against the devastating volleys from these brave Wisconsin men.
Surrender! Drop your weapons!
This would have been the point of view from the 2nd Mississippians as the 6th Wisconsin surrounded them and had them pinned down in the railroad cut where you are standing. According to the after-action report of Rufus Dawes, commanding, he took an awkward number of Confederate officers' sabers, and the regiment captured approximately 230 soldiers of the 2nd Mississippi at this place. The 2nd Mississippi is left in shambles after this fight. They fall back, and ultimately they have to wait for men who had been detached to pick up discarded weapons from the field with supply wagons to refill their ranks. And only about 80 of these men were left by July 3rd to take part in Pickett's charge. But that's a story for another day. This is the Uniformed Historian joining you from historic Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Take care, God bless, and I will see you at the next site.